Interface Video, in cooperation with Fairfield Federal, presents Fairfield Today. Brought to you by Fairfield Federal Savings and Loan, Fairfield Medical Center, Fairhope Hospice and Palliative Care, the Frankie Smith Funeral Home, Fairfield County Adam H., Dagger Law, and the Fairfield County Board of Developmental Disabilities.
Hello friends, and welcome to Fairfield Today. I'm your host, Paul Jasson. Thank you for joining us. We are again in downtown in the lobby of Fairfield Federal, right on the square in downtown Lancaster. As we tape today and begin taping, it's a beautiful day out here, and spring is right around the corner, so we're all excited about that. So thank you for joining us. Since 1984, Hospice of Fairfield County began providing care and really compassionate care and took it to a whole new level, and that's really what we're going to talk about today. And again, it was Hospice of Fairfield County back in the day, 1984. Things have changed a bit, new iterations, and that's where we are today. It's a pleasure to have the President, CEO of Fairhope Hospice, Kristin Glasure, with us. Kristin, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for asking, Paul.
So, 1984, you go back a ways in that original iteration when it was just Fairfield County before it, and we'll get to what Fairhope means because that's kind of a cool story too, but when it was just Hospice of Fairfield County, you were involved in that many years ago.
I was. So I am a social worker, and probably about 30 years ago, I was just fresh out of college and came back to Lancaster, and I was lucky enough to be hired by Hospice of Fairfield County as a social worker. We were much smaller, maybe 30 patients, so I was the social worker, bereavement coordinator, volunteer coordinator. So for 6 years I had a really good taste. I kind of got my start from hospice then.
Yeah, and so, fast forward to now, let's say, that many years later, now you have that beautiful facility up there on Sells Road with the Anita Turner building, with the Pickering House up there, and just one of the more serene and beautiful settings you could ever have for your business. It's just amazing. And again, I like to think that your organization, Fairhope Hospice, takes care and compassion and just takes it to the nth degree, and that's really what you folks are all about.
I absolutely agree with that. We have been in this community for almost 40 years. We've provided that great end-of-life care with compassion and dignity, and as we grow, the community is so supportive, and we have 38 acres on Sells Road like you talked about, and we're just very blessed to be able to provide that type of care here in our community.
And it's really Fairhope Hospice and Palliative Care.
Yes.
And it's the palliative care that I think really that's where you make your bones on that up there, that you guys do that just so well.
Thank you so much. Our nurses and our aides and our social workers, really all of our staff, it's really a passion of theirs, and they are called to be employees here at Fairhope. And so when we bring a new employee in and they want a job, we talk to them about why Fairhope. Almost every time they say, "You've touched my life in this way, and I'm ready to give back." And those are the best caregivers.
And we spoke a little bit about originally Hospice of Fairfield County. Move forward, you start getting bigger, growing, moving places, a couple different places since then till you arrive at Sells Road, and now it's Fairhope. And while that is a wonderful name for hospice, it has special meaning.
It does. I always say someone brilliant came up with that. So Fairhope is Fairfield County, Hocking County, and Perry County. And we changed to that name as we broadened and kind of served those counties. Now we serve 7 counties. So anywhere within an hour's drive of 282 Sells Road, the Pickering House, we serve.
And those are all counties that are contiguous to Fairfield?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Again, I don't, and we've talked to Rick Schneider here, and of course he had the program that you have now, that you host your own program over there, and you do a wonderful job too as the host.
You.
It's a pleasure to have a guest who's a host also. Nice to have her on here today and be on that side of the microphone here today. But we should talk to Rick and some of the other folks around, and just the job you do there. Nothing's too big for Fairhope Hospice.
No, we really pride ourselves on being able to look at and focus on what does that patient need, what does that family need. Paul, this kind of care is not just for the patient, This care encompasses the entire family because, as you know, when someone goes through this type of a situation in their life, there are a lot of pieces that fit together. They need a caregiver. No family is perfect, so oftentimes there's a lot of things that we need to help them kind of work through.
Yeah, that end of life time is a very difficult time for many families, and good families, not so. There's no rhyme or reason to any of that. And I wanted to make mention of that I think you folks call it a referral. That is, and you'll explain it far better than I. But this is when you perhaps have a family member who may need hospice care. You don't know what that means. How does that all fit? You're the place to find that information.
Absolutely. So, when we have, let me give you the definition of what Fairhope is and how someone may qualify. So if a patient has a terminal illness, one that will, if it follows its normal course, their life expectancy would be 6 months or less. If the physician feels that to be true, then they're appropriate for hospice. Now, with that being said, we have some families that come onto our service and they're with us for hours, days, and sometimes 6 or 8 months. So, none of us have a crystal ball. We don't know what that course is going to look like. But what I would love for the viewers to know is that even if you're not sure about where you are in that trajectory of the disease, please call.
Now's the time.
Now's the time to call. We can come out, our nurses, we're going to speak with your doctor. You're going to be able to keep your physician that you've known for 20 years that you're comfortable with. We are going to call them. We're going to talk with the doctor. We can come out, do an assessment, and just really take a look at your loved one. And if we feel like they're ready and the physician agrees, we can sign them on hospice. If we don't think they're ready, then we're going to keep an eye on you. We're going to offer support, and we'll be there when it is the right time.
So they're from that point till the end.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And we mentioned the Anita Turner building that you have up there that's reasonably new, and then the Pickering house that's up there. But it's my understanding that all hospice don't have this unbelievable setting that you have up there, and not that any of it's bad, but you really have a set up there where you can take patients there, but it's also in the home or wherever it's needed.
Right, wherever someone calls home is where we can meet them, whether that's a nursing facility in their home. We've been to group homes, any of those things. Wherever someone lives is where we can be. Now, we're very fortunate. Not many hospices at all have an inpatient unit like we have.
That's pretty amazing.
Very few have the type of bereavement and grief support that we do in the Anita M. Turner Center. So thank you to Anita M. Turner's family, to Virginia Pickering for just allowing us to have this opportunity for the community.
Yeah, it's and like how many acres?
38
acres, and it's unbelievable.
Yesterday, I'll tell you, I was outside and I came inside. It was so beautiful. I took some fresh air in, but I looked out at the back where we have a beautiful sunroom, and a patient was there at the doors in their bed, just having that sun beat on them. And so, you know what, that's really what this is all about.
How many rooms you have up there?
We have 12 rooms there.
And it's just, if the opportunity comes and presents itself, that's fine. But like you say, it could be a nursing home, a group home, an individual home, a relative's home. It's just wherever you're needed.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's quite an operation you have up there. I think I mention that every time we're on, is that I don't think I've ever heard anyone have a bad word about what you do at hospice, because I think you all jump through as many hoops as it takes to get the job done.
It's important for us. We have one chance to do this right, and we strive and pride ourselves on making that happen for the families and our patients. And I just would really love to stress again that it's so important. Don't wait until it's too late for us to come in and just give you that support and that holistic support to keep you comfortable. Stop the trips back and forth to the hospital. Just make one phone call and let us just be there for you.
It's the website, I'll guess on this.
Okay.
Fairhopehospice.org.
You got it.
Okay, fairhopehospice.org. It's a great website, very interactive. You can just, a lot of the questions can be answered, but if somebody wants to give a call, what's the number up there?
740-654-7077. Just tell them you'd like some information about hospice and palliative care.
And we want to get to an event you've got coming up. We've got a few minutes, but I just wanted to mention quickly, your volunteers are the heart of your business.
They really are. when you think about volunteers and you think about all the different people and types of things they can do in our community, we have over 100 volunteers. We just graduated another class this year of 6. Those volunteers do every single thing you can think of, from shredding papers to filling the bird feeders to sitting with patients who have no family at the end of their life. What a gift that is to our community.
Yeah. Well, you have and we wanted to wrap it up by talking about, and we'll put a little thing on the screen here to talk about this.
Okay.
It's Fairhope Celebrates Life. Hope Grows Here, Thursday, April 6th, coming up pretty soon. A big event.
It's a big event for us. So as you know, we never turn somebody away for their inability to pay for our services. So this event, April 6th, it is going to be at Lancaster Golf Club, or you can go to our website. There's a QR code. You can click on there and join us to bid on a lot of really great auction. Scan it. That's right. Just like you see. Maybe we can put that on the TV so they can do that. But this is a really important event for us to raise money to give back to our families and just to have a nice time back together too.
Yeah. And this means a lot to the overall programs that you run up there, that you're able to keep going and keep the personnel that you have.
It sure does.
Yeah. So it's April 6th. That's a Thursday, 5:30 to 8:30, out at the Lancaster Golf Club. That's a lovely new setting out there.
We're very excited about this.
Yeah, that's pretty neat. And again, it benefits your memorial fund. And again, that's kind of the backbone of what makes you folks run.
Right. You know, oftentimes when people will donate to Fairhope after they've had a loss, and we receive a lot of donations, but this money goes right back into caring for our patients. And that's why this is so important.
And so this will be a live auction. You'll be able to bid on the phone.
Yep.
Just like other organizations have had in the past that seem to be very successful.
Absolutely. We're going to have some music, some light hors d'oeuvres. We're going to have a great MC at the event, and you'll be able to bid on some live packages that evening too.
And you got some cool stuff.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah. Trips, cabins, just anything that you can think of.
Nice. So it's Fairhope Celebrates Life, and Hope Grows Here, benefiting the Fairhope Memorial Fund. Again, we've got that card, we'll put it up, make sure you see that. But it's April 6th, Thursday, 5:30 to 8:30. The latest in a fun thing. Over the year, you do a couple different things. I know you have a trash and treasures auction, I think. Is that out at the fairgrounds?
That is. Yeah, it's always that first weekend in June.
That's an annual event?
That is, and our volunteers run that. And I'm going to tell you what, if you want to see something work, like just perfectly, stop out.
I've been out there and I've gotten a few things out there. And the people know that this is needed, so they bring out some great items out there. And again, your volunteers organize it, and it's a heck of a well-run
thing. It sure is. Thank
you. My guest today has been Kristin Glasure. She's president and CEO of Fairhope Hospice, a wonderful organization, care and compassion to the nth degree up there. Just thanks for what you and all your staff and the volunteers do up there. You just do a great job for everybody.
It's my pleasure.
654-7077 if you need to call, but fairhopehospice.org is the website. All the information's on there. If you think you need somebody in, it's called a referral. Get some information. Folks up on the phone will give you all the stuff you need.
Yep, they'll get you right to the right spot that you need, someone to speak to.
Very good. Well, good luck on the auction.
Thank you.
We hope that goes well. Kristin Glasure from Fairhope Hospice joining us today. We'll be back in just a moment.
I want a doctor who listens to me.
From primary care to specialty medicine, we put your needs first by treating you like a person, not a number. Our primary care team will help you identify your healthcare needs and set goals for success, regardless of where you are in your wellness journey. We care for patients of all ages, with offices that are close to you. Whatever you're searching for, you can find it at Fairfield Medical Center.
My name is Scott Duff, and I'm the director of the Fairfield County Overdose Response Team, and I'm here today to discuss Narcan. Narcan is the opioid overdose reversal medication. Narcan saves lives. We have saved countless lives in our community by providing Narcan to those with substance abuse disorders. We would very much like you to consider carrying Narcan on a regular basis. Narcan can be obtained easily in your community by reaching out to the Fairfield County Overdose Response Team at 740-901-1598.
This message is brought to you by the Fairfield County Adam H. Board.
The staff that have been here know what it takes. They've been on the other side. They see what it takes to make someone comfortable, to make the family comfortable, and really what kind of support they need. And so I think that's what really makes Fairhope what it is.
The Frankie Smith Funeral Home and Crematory in Lancaster and the Johnson Smith Funeral Home in Baltimore have a long and wonderful history of serving our community. Feel free to give us a call at 740-653-0652. Stop in and see us at either of our two locations, 405 North Columbus Street in Lancaster and 207 South Main Street in Baltimore. Respect for tradition, regard for change.
You walked down the aisle and promised happily ever after. Sometimes happily ever after means ending a relationship. We know the conversations are not easy. Deciding what's best for you, your children, and your next steps takes work and communication. At Dagger Law, we know there are no monsters in a divorce, only people trying to find their way. Local, trusted, experienced. Dagger Law.
Welcome back to Fairfield today. Pleasure to be with us. Appreciate Kristin Glasure being with us and tell us a great story of Fairhope Hospice. They have a wonderful story to tell, and she does such a fine job at that. And again, being in this time of the year, as we head into the springtime, the March and the April's time of the year, it's a lot of musicals in schools. We've already talked about Liberty Union has a great one. Ohio University, Lancaster has a great one out there. And one of the groups that are coming up now, I'm not sure how many years, I know over 10, we'll find out exactly how many that is from the Lancaster Community Chorus, as we have the director, Clarence McCoy. Clarence, thank you.
Oh, certainly.
How many years?
This is our 10th season.
10th season. This
Yes.
is the 10th season. Been kind of a circuitous route to get to 10.
It has, exactly. It should have been our 11th, but we had the year that we didn't perform. So
Yes, and that kind of brings us really to the music that you've got going on now. It's going to be Sunday, March 26th, just one performance on this, and it's we'll mention this several times because we kind of want to make it a little indelible in you. It's at First United Methodist Church. I think every other performance that you've had has been at the Crossroads Center out on West Fair.
We did two at Faith Memorial as well.
Yeah.
We did that, but this is our first time at First United Methodist Church, and there are reasons for that, and we can talk about
Yeah,
that.
and good reasons, not bad reasons.
Right,
They're good
right.
reasons.
Yeah.
So now we'll give this a shot. This is my strength.
Okay.
Faray Requiem et al.
That is it, buddy.
That was it. And that means
We're doing a Requiem by Gabrielle Faray, and then et al. Means others and others. So we're going to do some other pieces there with it. So.
this is a bit of not what you normally do with the Lancaster Community Chorus. Although they're a big group and they do lots of all kinds of different numbers, this is again movement in a different direction.
It is. It's a departure for us. We've wanted to do a major work like this for a while, a multi-movement work, but we've not made that happen. We did, several years ago, we did a concert called Miniature Masters, where we did pieces of large works by great composers, but we've never done one large work. We had one planned back in 2020.
The best laid plans.
Yeah, best laid plans, exactly. Just 2 weeks before we were scheduled to perform, the plug got pulled with the pandemic conditions that were going on. At that time, we were going to do the Rudder Gloria with the Choral Union from Ohio University. We were going to combine together and do a concert here and in Athens with instrumental accompaniments and all that, do that there. And then, as we all know, things changed at the last minute, and that ended up not occurring. So this will be our first major work that we have performed.
And it's a pretty heady piece.
It is, yeah. This is a major piece of choral literature. There's no doubt about it. Multi-movement work, seven movements in this that we'll do. So different for us. Normally we do 3 or 4 minutes and we're done with that song and we move on to something else. This is a major 36-minute work that happens in addition to a few other pieces that we're doing, the et al. Portion of the title. But that's that, and it's a great piece. We'll be singing in Latin throughout. It's a very unusual requiem. A requiem is a funeral mass normally. Often done when we get close to Holy Week, which we are doing this time, about a week prior to Holy Week beginning. It's when this will perform. But this requiem is different in that it's just extremely hopeful. A lot of time requiems are, they're just kind of downers.
Heavy.
Pretty heavy. This ends with an unusual movement called In Paradisum, in paradise, and it's just as hopeful and joyful as it can be at the end of the requiem. It's a great piece.
And we'll mention again, it's 3 o'clock Sunday, March 26th. So coming up pretty quick, and it's at First United Methodist Church, which is a departure from the normal venue, but it has other things that are pluses there, like handicap accessible. That is a plus.
Yes, indeed. Yeah, I think some people worry when they see the big old church and they see all the steps and all that stuff, and perhaps that's not going to work. But there is an elevator entrance on High Street. The building is at the corner of Wheeling and High Street. It's actually the whole block between Wheeling and Mulberry and at High. There. Big parking lot there, another big parking lot across the street on Wheeling Street, so there's plenty of parking there. A handicapped entrance available on High Street. And the big reason that we're moving to First United Methodist Church is the Faray Requiem requires a pipe organ. Requires and a pretty decent instrument, which we are fortunate to have at First United Methodist Church. And so that's why the concert is being moved there for this one time. Yeah.
And you have a little bigger orchestra than you normally have, which sometimes is a couple trumpets, maybe some violins, depending on the type of music, but you've got some serious musicians.
We do, indeed. Not that the others have not been serious musicians, but this is we have a
number.
Yeah, exactly. We have a string orchestra. Again, a little bit of an unusual instrumentation that Faray has written. There's only a violin part, one violin, and two movements of it. The rest of it features violas heavily, but you don't often hear that. Violas, cello, and bass, French horns, and harp. In addition to the organ, all going into the Faray Requiem. We're doing. I mentioned the fact that the concert we were going to do in 2020 was the Rudder Gloria, and we were doing all music of John Rudder, who's an English composer. It was his, I think, 75th birthday year, so we were going to do all that then.
That would have been so good.
It would, wouldn't it? Yes, exactly. Yes, things that could have been. But since John Rudder is actually the editor of the edition of the Requiem that we are singing, so we took that opportunity to bring back some of those pieces that we were going to do at the Rudder concert. So we're going to do those in addition to the Faray Requiem. One of those pieces is called The Quest, a fairly modern piece by John Rudder that features a wonderful oboe part, and David Lanus is going to play that with us for that. We're doing a couple of standard John Rudder things. For the Beauty of the Earth is one of his anthems that's been around for 30 years or so. Great piece. And we're going to finish with The Lord Bless You and Keep You. And then just for fun, a little palate cleanser before we get to the Requiem. We're also doing his arrangement of Down by the Riverside.
Everyone knows that?
Everybody knows that one. A nice kind of Dixieland feel arrangement of that one. So it's a nice variety of music on the concert in addition to this heavy piece, the Faray Requiem.
And normally you have maybe 70, 80 people, this amount, the number?
A little bit smaller this time. There's about 60 of us, which actually fits into our space at First United Methodist Church a little better. And we've done that. Yeah, we've had as many, when we were doing the Rudder Gloria, we had over 90 singers from us and over 100 from Ohio University that were all going to go together to do that. So a little smaller than this, but this piece would have been written for a much smaller group than 60 when it was originally performed in the 1800s. So it's going to be a good piece. It's going to fit what we're doing very well.
Tickets are $10.
They are. Tickets are $10.
And they're available.
They are available from any of the singers in the chorus. There's information at LancasterCommunityChorus.com. You can find that out there. There'll also be tickets available at the door that day for sure. Yeah.
I've seen stuff on Facebook. So you've got some
Facebook
social
and
media
Instagram.
action,
Absolutely.
Instagram going on there.
Yep.
And again, we want to mention again, and again, I guess we're trying to belabor that point, that it's at First Methodist.
Yes, indeed.
First United Methodist Church, just up on the hill, a couple blocks from here. And it's a beautiful place for a concert. You have plenty of seating, but it's amazing when you, as I remember how that church is set up there, when you start putting the choir up there, it's going to fill that place up.
It is, absolutely, and it's going to be, it's a little unusual setting in that the choir loft is kind of off to one side, but that's we're going to make that work.
Sure.
That'll be there, and the pipe organ will be there, and we'll fit some instrumentalists in. I mean, anytime you have a building that's 120 years old, as that one is, you have to do a little work in to make it happen, but
sure.
we'll do that.
Sure. And again, it's got pluses that the other one doesn't have. Like you say, a pipe organ, which you wouldn't have had that out at Crossroads.
Beautiful stained glass rose windows. Yeah, that's a great setting. Yeah, that's very nice. Yeah.
So it's Faray Requiem et al. Am
Indeed.
I close on that?
You got it right on.
Okay, and you'll be doing some other pieces with John Rutter's, the ones you mentioned like
Right.
that. So it's,
Yes.
I guess, something you're trying to bring back a little that you weren't able to do before.
Sure.
Just kind of touch on that a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, the Rutter did this edition. He was the editor on this piece, the Requiem, and he did some neat things, bringing back the original instrumentation that Faray had written. It's been rewritten 2 or 3 times over the years with bigger orchestras and all that. And he brought back the original instrumentation, so we're excited to do that. And then that was just a natural tie-in to bring in some of his other pieces that we were scheduled to sing back in 2020.
Has this been performed around here, to your knowledge?
Yeah, it has a few times. I'm the worship and music director at First United Methodist Church, and we did it there on Good Friday in 2016. And it had been done there one time previously, about 25 years prior to that. Other than that, I don't know that it has been done around here very much. But it's it's kind of a famous piece of music. It really is. Yeah.
Well, and again, as he mentioned, it's handicap accessible. Which again, if you know where the church is up there, they've got those big steps going up there off of Wheeling, and it can be rather daunting. Well, I can't make, but they have an elevator right there. That's off of a High Street.
On High Street, yeah.
On High Street right there, so it's handicap accessible. Tickets can be purchased online.
They can be purchased on. There's information online to purchase them
online. Okay,
yes,
how to
and
get
do
them.
that, or you can get them at the door that day.
So it's again, we talked about when we were talking about OUL. They have 4 shows. Liberty Union had 3 shows. This is the one show for
That's
this.
right.
So there won't be another show that you'll be able to go to
Correct.
with this. So it's on Sunday, March 26th, 3 p.m. Have you have any trouble getting musicians for this, since it's a little different?
No, not really.
People locally, you can get those people?
Well, local depends on how you define
what
local.
is
Yes,
local?
yeah, exactly. We've got folks coming from all around the area, many of whom have played the piece before in other settings. So that's a good thing. And that every time I contact someone to come play it, that's one of my favorites. Yeah, I'm excited to do that. So it's a great piece of music.
And I want to mention too, you have a different pianist this year. There have been some health issues with your original pianist, and she's had to take a little leave of absence here. So you've got another one here, and this gentleman's pretty good.
He's very good. His name is Chris Detterer. Just moved to Ohio from North Carolina. His wife is a pastor in Circleville, and he is a music director in Grove City. Has made all that stuff happen in the last few months as he has come to the area. Phenomenal organist and pianist both. He's a very talented.
So he'll be playing the organ.
He'll be playing the organ for most of the concert. It's organ, and then there's other instruments. And the only piece we're doing with piano is the Down by the Riverside, the Dixieland piece, which just needs
Dixieland sound.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So again, the information is on there. It's at LancasterCommunityChorus.com. Information how to get tickets. Any choir member has tickets.
Yes, any choir member,
available.
anyone you know who's a member of Lancaster Community Chorus can get you tickets for sure. You can contact me. I'm on social media. I'm in the phone book.
Again, it's all over Facebook, lots of social media out there. It's Sunday, March 26th, 3 o'clock, the Lancaster Community Chorus. Of course, Clarence McCoy is the director of that. It's Faray Requiem et al. A lot of John Rutter music in this, a lot of influence from John Rutter on that, and that's a good thing. That'll be fun to do.
It will.
So back 100%, no mass, everything's optional.
Correct.
there?
That is correct. This will be another concert without intermission. Sometimes we have had them just because of the nature of the concert and the fact that the one piece is 36 minutes long. We're going to do the other pieces. We do that piece and then one final one at the end without intermission. A little over an hour probably for the concert.
Well, and again, it's not unlimited seating up there. It's one show, so get your tickets from anybody you know, and it should be a phenomenal show, as I would say most of yours have been. They've been fun shows.
Thank you. They have been good. This one's going to be special, though, I think.
So Lancaster Community Chorus in its 10th year, 11th year, depending on how you count. So dog years, I don't know how that
Something
works.
like that.
So it's again Sunday, March 26th, 3 o'clock up at First United Methodist Church. Anything else we need to get in on this?
Oh, I think that's it. You're going to want to come see this. You don't want to miss it.
Yeah. One time, one show. Clarence, best of luck.
Thank you.
Thank you, Clarence McCoy with the Lancaster Community Chorus, and thank you for joining us in Fairfield today.
Interface Video, in cooperation with Fairfield Federal, presents Fairfield Today. Brought to you by Fairfield Federal Savings and Loan, Fairfield Medical Center, Fairhope Hospice and Palliative Care, the Frankie Smith Funeral Home, Fairfield County Adam H., Dagger Law, and the Fairfield County Board of Developmental Disabilities.